Straykids imagines when you text them, Daddy, I want you in family dinner, them as your husband. Jeongin. The family dinner was loud, warm, and packed. Steaming bowls of bibimbap and sizzling pork belly lined the table. Laughter bounced off the walls as Yen sat. Yen glanced at Jeongin, his sleeves rolled up, laughing with his cousin, the vein of his neck slightly visible as he chewed, her lips curved into a Yen, I want you, Daddy. Second later, Jeongin's phone buzzed in his lap. He casually glanced down. The second his eyes met the screen, his jaw still. Jeongin leaned back, subtly unlocking his phone and replying, Yen, are you seriously doing this right now? Yen, you look so hard with this roll. Jeongin almost choked on his rice. He covered it with a cup and reached for water, but his hand trembled slightly. His face flushed, not from spite. He inhaled deeply, looked around, then whispered to his mom, Gonna help you and find something in the car. Yin stood casually, brushing off invisible crumbs. As soon as they were out of the view in the hallway, Jongin spun her around and pressed her gently but firmly against the wall. Yen, he murmured. She wrapped her arms around his neck. Always, she whispered, brushing her lips against his jaw. Even more when you are being responsible and hot in front of your 2 minutes, he growled between kisses. I'm not letting you walk back in with wobbly legs. She giggled breathlessly. You're such a gentleman. They returned 5 minutes later. Her lips were a little too glossy, and his shirt was slightly unbuttoned at the top. Changbin. The dinner was at Changbin's family home, traditional, elegant, and a little too proper for the kind of thoughts Yen was having. She sat across from him, and when his mom complimented his strong arms, Yen nearly lost it. She pulled out her phone beneath the tablecloth, keeping her expression. Changbin's phone lit up on the table. He picked it up, smiling politely at his cousins until he saw the message. His eyes paused, eyebrows. Changbin, you're playing with fire, baby. Yen, I want the fire. I want your hand, your mouth, your everything. Changbin's while I'm sitting up. His jaw clenched harder, this time not from laughter. He leaned forward, speaking across the table casually. Babe, could you come help? Yen stood immediately. Of course, she said, voice sweet as syrup. They walked to the basement door. Changbin held it open. Let her go first. The door closed. The light flicked on, and then he grabbed her, pushed her against the wall of wine shelf, one thick hand wrapped gently around her. You really think I wouldn't deal with you right here? He whispered, breath hard, voice low. I was counting on it, she whispered, eyes dark. His You like acting like a little in front of my whole family? Yes, Daddy, she moaned softly, fingers digging into his back. I want to be ruined. He kissed down her neck, lifting her against the wall, her legs locking around him as wine bottle clinked from the moment. Minute passed when they. Changbin looked freshly composed, except his sleeves were now rolled up higher, exposing those damn forearms. Find the wine? His aunt. His phone buzzed. Yen, I want you again, Changbin. After dinner, on your knees. You earn it. Seungmin. The dinner was at upscale Korean restaurant, private room, long table, all the cousins, uncle and distant aunt gathered for a fancy reunion. Sangmin sat directly across from Yen, dressed like a damn problem in a fitted charcoal blazer, white shirt open at the collar, one wrist showing off that sleek Yen's thighs pressed together beneath the long white tablecloth. She reached for her phone, fingers flying. Yen, I want you, Daddy. He glanced at the message when it came through, didn't blink, didn't smirk, just look up at her. Expression unreadable, dangerous. He slowly raised his Songman, do you? Yen, yes, I want your mouth, your fingers, your voice. I want to sit on your lap and beg until I break. Yen, are you serious? Songmin, deadly. Make a sound or I'll finger you at the table. Her face flushed violently. He kept chewing calm as ever. Bite her cheek to hold back a whimper and slide them discreetly into her purse. She texted back, "Done. Seungmin, good girl, now keep your legs." She gasped softly. Everyone around her laughed at the joke Seungmin's uncle told. They had no idea the war being waged under the table. Seungmin leaned forward. Yen nodded quickly. "Yeah, water would be good." He handed her a glass under the table. She felt his foot slide between her ankles, then his knee. Her hand trembled. "Yen, I'm losing it." Songman's, "Not yet. You'll come when I say." She looked up. His dark eyes burned into her every bit. Dinner dragged on. Her whole body buzzed. Every movement of his foot made her thighs twitch. No one knew. When dessert was served, Songmin leaned over his plate. "You did well," he whispered. "Now go to the restroom and wait." Door unlocked, hands on the sink. She stood unsteady, legs numb. Minutes passed. Seungmin stood too, slow and composed. "Gonna check on Yen," he said calmly. "She's been gone a bit. Nobody questioned." Seungmin, still sipping his tea like a prince. Bangchan. Bangchan's family was big, loud, loving, the kind that did full speeches before dinner and handed out matching aprons to uncles. His sleeves were rolled, his hair was pushed back, and his voice, gently but deep, had just led the opening prayer. Yen couldn't wait. Bangchan's. He blinked, looked up, met her gaze. She was biting her bottom lip, eyes gleaming with trouble. He opened the message and cuffed one, covering the sharp inhale. "Bangchan, you little brat, during grace?" "Yen, especially during grace. Make it hotter," Chan stood. "Sorry," he said, voice calm. "We forgot something in the." Yen blinked up with wide eyes, innocence, and followed him. No one noticed. Everyone was too busy talking about soup. They reached the He pushed her back against the washer, pressed his palm beside her head, stared down at her. "You really don't have a survival instinct." Yen reached for his bent loop. "I just wanted you to remind me why I call you dad." He chuckled, dark, deep, then grabbed her. "Keep quiet," he whispered, "or I'll make you finish your little prayer morning." Her gasp was swallowed in his kiss. 15 chaotic minutes later, Chan returned a face. Uncle raised a brow. "Everything's okay?" "Yeah," Chan said smoothly, sitting beside her. "She just needed a little reminder." Hyunjin. The family dinner was held in a countryside villa, rustic and echoing, every wooden beam creaking under the sound of voices and clinking. Yen stared at him. The candlelight flickered across his high cheekbone, the way he licked the sauce off his thumb after serving his aunt. "Yen, I want you, Daddy." He pressed send and watched. Hyunjin's phone buzzed on the table. He picked it up casually, sipping water, then nearly choked. He texted back, "Hyunjin, you did not just send that." Yen, "Oh, I did. I meant every single word." Hyunjin, "You want to die?" Yen. 2 minutes later, he stood and adjusted his sleeves. "Going to wash my hands upstairs." He glanced at Yen. "You coming, babe?" Yen nodded innocently. "I need to fix my hair anyway." Upstairs, the bathroom was small, clean, and quiet. As soon as the door she pulled him by the sweater, her voice low and breathy. "I've been dying for you all night. The way you licked that sauce off your fingers." 15 minutes passed. They emerged, flushed and red, pretending nothing had happened. Downstairs, no one had noticed yet. Hyunjin sat back down, calmly sipping his drink. Yen returned to her seat, still catching her breath. His phone lit up again. "Still hungry, Daddy?" Han. The family dinner at Han's uncle's house was pure madness. Kids running everywhere, dishing clattering, someone accidentally lighting a napkin on fire. Yen sat across from husband, watching him tear into a piece of chicken like he hadn't eaten in days, his jaw flexed, tongue flicking. She opened her phone under the table and her fingers flew. "Yen, I want you, Daddy." Han glanced at the message and nearly spit out his drink. He blinked. Han, excuse me, in front of my entire family? Yen, especially in front of them. Han, you are absolutely bold. Yen, and dripping. He said, dead in eyes, and grinned dangerously. Without a word, he slipped his hand under the tablecloth, barely moving his body. So casual. Yen, he said suddenly out loud, you look kind of flushed. You good? She nodded quickly. Yeah, just warm. His finger brushed again. Han, you're reading these for me? Socked already? Yen, I was socked the second you smacked at me. His finger pressed one sharp motion against her cloth. Yen nodded violently. Yep, paper flags, very spicy. Han chuckled under his breath. Poor thing. He leaned forward, keeping one hand hidden under the table. His eyes twinkled, voice playful. Wicked. Try to eat your rice, baby. Yen, you're insane. Han, you're the one squeezing my fingers. Minutes passed. She shook, barely able to hold her spoon. He licked his fingers afterwards, casually. Delicious, he said, eyes locked. And his phone lit up again. Yen, I hate you. Han, liar, you gonna beg for mercy tonight, princess. I haven't even started. Felix. Dinner was loud, warm, and a little overwhelming, held in Felix's family's sunlit dining room. The walls were covered in old photos, but Yen couldn't focus of any of it, not when he sat across from her, blonde hair tucked behind his ears, warm freckles growing beneath them. And when he spoke, that low, honey-drenched Australian accent curled around her spine like smoke. She bit her bottom lip. Felix's phone lit up where it sat next to his plate. He picked it up with lazy fingers, expecting a meme from Ham, but the moment his eyes scanned, his reply came fast. Felix, oh princess, you want me to bend you over the family table? Yen, I want your hand around my throat while you whispered in that. Felix, stop, or I'll lose it. Yen, then lose it right here, right now. His jaw clenched. He wiped his hands on his napkin and stood. Yen, he said. The storage room was small, dark, and full of boxes. The door shut behind them, and suddenly his hands were on her hips, his mouth on her neck. You're so goddamn needy, he growled. Look at you already shaking. I can't help it, she whispered, grinding her hips back against him. Turn around, he ordered, hands on the boxes. She obeyed immediately. Say it again, he said. I want you, Daddy, she gasped. Felix groaned. And he did, hard, fast, deep, fingers brushing her hips as she muffled moans into her elbow. 10 minutes later, Felix's curls were tousled. He reached for his water like nothing had happened but a mischievous smile under his lips. Leeknow. The dinner table was long and full family packed on either side, the centerpiece streaming with grilled fish and sizzling beef. Yen sat across from her husband. He wasn't doing anything seductive on purpose, but that was the problem. Everything he did, even sipping water, made her want to crawl across the table. She couldn't resist. Across from her, Leno's phone buzzed against the table. He looked down, glanced at the screen, and froze for half a second. His brows twitched slowly. Leno, oh really? During dinner with my family watching you blush? Yen, especially during dinner, you being in control like this, it's driving me insane. He let out a breath, subtle but sharp, his legs stretched under the table, brushing against her. She tensed. He pressed forward until his foot slid. She hesitated. Yen, Minho, Leno, do it, or I'll punish you later. Her thighs parted beneath the table. Across from her, Leno's foot slowly moved, bare, silent, and knowing. He'd slipped his shoe off minutes ago without her noticing. Now his toe slid. She tensed, nearly dropped her spoon, then higher his barefoot rest soft against her heel. No fabric, no leather barrier, just him touching her directly. The family passed around desert. Yen avoided eye contact, her body tingling from his steady foot pressed against her from the power play of stairs. You are not getting out of the car until I've finished what you started. She smiled, flushed breathlessly, and already undone. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos.